Good evening, net aspirants. So, which are the different areas which comes under logical reasoning or like mathematical reasoning? There are two different areas: logical reasoning and mathematical reasoning. So, we'll take it together rather than really, putting that into two different compartments. So, which are the most important and most interesting areas? Short questions from these areas. Probably you might have seen number series questions in every net exam. So we have number series, then you may have letter series, all those kind of questions. So I'm not really going into that details of different areas which comes under logical reasoning and mathematical reasoning. Rather than we'll take a look at each one of this area. We'll start from number series. So let's start from an example. I don't believe in like talking a lot, rather than we do a lot and we'll go that way. That's the best way to deal with this kind of exams. Let's try this. So 12, 14, 17, 21, 26. Which is the next number in the series? So as you know, the number series is the pattern of numbers. So what exactly the pattern? If you can identify the pattern, you will be able to answer this question. So it's pretty simple. 12 plus 2 is 14. 14 plus 3 is 17. 17 plus 4 is 21. 21 plus 5 is 26. So ultimately, these differences are 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are counting numbers or natural numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next number would be 6. So the answer for this one must be 26 plus 6, 32. That is pretty simple example. Unfortunately, we cannot really expect those kind of questions for the exam because that's too simple for the exam. However, that will give you a pretty clear idea about what exactly a number series or number pattern type of question. Now we'll get into another example here. 12, 14, 17. These three numbers are pretty same, but you know what? Next number is different. It's 22. The next number is 29. So what would be the next number in the series? Missing number in the series. So this case, if you look at the pattern, what do you see here? It's 2, 3. So 14 plus 2, 12 plus 2, 14, 14 plus 3, 17. Next one is 5. 17 plus 5 is 22. 22 plus 7 is 29. So the differences are 2, 3, 5, 7. So, well, many of you might have the answer in your mind is 29 plus 9, that is 38. However, these numbers 3, 5, 7, these are odd numbers. But you know what? This number, it's 2. That's an even number. So you cannot really go with the pattern 3, 5, 7, and next one is an odd number. Rather than, you look at it, 2, 3, 5, 7. So now, I'm pretty sure you might have got it by this time. 2, 3, 5, 7 are prime numbers. So next prime number must be 11. So next difference must be 11. So 29 plus 11, that is 40. So 40 is the answer. All right, so these are the patterns which are called summation pattern or the pattern of differences. First number plus something is the second number plus something is the third number. It goes like that. So there are wide varieties of that. So let's say 10, 11, 15, 24, 40. What's the next number? So 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 plus 4 is 15. 15 plus 9 is 24. And 24 plus 16 is 40. So plus 1, plus 4. The differences are plus 1, plus 4, plus 9, and plus 16. So what's the peculiarity of these numbers? At a glance, we can see that this is 2 square. This is 3 square. This is 4 square. Naturally, this is what? 1 square. So 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, and 4 square. So these differences are squares of natural numbers. Starting from 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one must be 5 square. 5 square is what? 25. So 40 plus 25, your answer must be 65. See that? So these are all the patterns which are giving you the differences. First number plus something is the second number, and those differences are in a pattern. All right, so we'll take a look at another question, another example. How about 35? So I'll just write it a bit more down so that would be easy for you to visible. So let's say 35, 48, 63, 80. What's the next number in the series? There are two different ways of looking at this question. First one, it's a difference. So 35 plus 13 would be 48. Then 48 plus 15, that is 63. And 63 plus 17, that would be 80. So this 13, 15, 17, these are consecutive odd numbers. Next one would be 19 plus 19. So 80 plus 19, 99 is the answer. So that is one way of looking at it. Another way, I'm pretty sure some of you might have got the other pattern as well. So what is it? 35. 35, actually, when I look at 35, the 36 come to my mind. What is 36? That's 6 square. So 35 is what? 6 square minus 1. And 48, 7 square minus 1. And this one, 8 square minus 1. And next one is 9 square minus 1. So it's pattern of what? Squares. Squares connected patterns. So this case, these numbers are square minus 1. So this is up to here, we have 9 square minus 1. 6 square minus 1, 7 square, 8 square, 9 square. Next one must be 10 square minus 1. 10 square, everybody knows that 10 square is 100. So 100 minus 1, 99. So this is 10 square minus 1. The answer is 99. Doesn't matter. Either way you try. Either you take the differences or you go with the squares pattern, you'll get the same answer. But some of the questions, especially if it is 3-digit numbers or something like that, I'll give you an example. Let's say 325, 362, 401, 442. And those kind of questions, well, the numbers are getting large, right? So that case, taking differences must be little more time consuming. So if you know that squares pattern, that would be really interesting. That would be easy. That would be less time consuming for you guys. Let's check it out. So this case, 325. Of course, you can take the differences, you will get the answer. Other than that, 325, at a glance, I can see that it is 18 square. 18 square is 324. So this is 18 square plus 1. 362. Then 401, 401. So that is 20 square. 20 square is 400. So, well, 20 square plus 1. So this is 18 square plus 1. This is 20 square plus 1. Naturally, this one would be 19 square plus 1. 19 square is 361 plus 1. So then 442, 21 square plus 1. So we have, this is 18 square, 19 square, 20 square, and 21 square. Next one must be 22 square plus 1. 22 square is 484. 484 plus 1, 485. The answer must be 485 here. See that? So now the first one is a square pattern, square minus 1. Second one, it's a square plus 1. Sometimes it could be square plus 2, square plus 3, square plus 4, or it is square minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 of natural numbers. Sometimes these would be the squares of odd numbers. So, well, 3 square minus 1, 5 square minus 1, 7 square minus 1, 9 square minus 1. Sometimes it's the squares of even numbers. Sometimes it's the squares of like prime numbers. You never know what kind of pattern is waiting for you. Probably NTA is keeping a special pattern for you guys once you are ready for the exam. You never know what kind of a pattern, but once you have an idea about what are the different patterns possible, then you'll be able to deal with any of these kind of questions. So we have squares pattern. So we have summation pattern. So we see the differences pattern. Is there any other pattern possible? How about like a 28, 65, 126, 217. So what's the pattern here? So, well, 28, 65, 65, at a glance, I can see that it's 8 square plus 1. However, 28 is what? 5 square plus 3. So, if you take square pattern, it's 5 square plus 3. 126 is what? 11 square. 11 square is 121 plus 5. 216, the nearest square is 225. 225 is what? 15 square. This is what? 217. What is the difference? It's 8 is the difference. So, well, it's 15 square minus 8. However, 5 square plus 3, 8 square plus 1, 11 square plus 5, 15 square minus 8 doesn't make any pattern at all. So it is, the squares doesn't help us. Square doesn't help us to get the answer. Is there anything else? How about like differences? Or anything else come to your mind? Well, what I know, 126, that reminds me of 125. 125 is 5 cube. And at the same time, 65, well, 64 is 4 cube. And 28, well, I know that 3 cube is 27. So it's 3 cube plus 1, 4 cube plus 1, 4 cube is 64 plus 1, and 5 cube is 125 plus 1, and next one, 6 cube. Well, if you're not sure about what is 6 cube, it's pretty simple. 6 cube is what? 6 into 6 into 6. That is 6 cube. Well, 6 into 6 is 36. So 36 into 6. Don't go for conventional multiplication. Just go for mental calculation. So 36 into 6. 30 into 6, 180. 6 into 6, 36. So 180 plus 36, 180 plus 20, 200. Plus 16. So 216 would be the answer. All right. So this case, 6 cube. It's 216 plus 1. So 6 cube plus 1. So the pattern is 3 cube plus 1, 4 cube plus 1, 5 cube plus 1, 6 cube plus 1. And next one must be 7 cube. 7 cube is what? 7 into 7 into 7. 7 into 7 is 49. 49 into 7. So if it is mental calculation, there is no need to write it on the board. This is for just the demonstration purpose. You'll get an idea how to do it. So 49 into 7. 49, I'll take it as 50. I'm not just using the 49 number, but I'm just using the number 50. So 50 into 7. 50 into 7, it's 350. 5 into 7, 35. So 50 into 7, 350. But actually what we need is 49. 49 and 50 difference is 1. So that 1 must be multiplied by 7 and that 7 must be subtracted from 350. So 50 into 7, 350. But what we need is 49 into 7. So that difference 1. 1 into 7 must be subtracted from 350. 350 minus 7, 343. So well, 7 cube is 343. So what we have, the answer is 7 cube plus 1. 7 cube plus 1, that is 343 plus 1, 344 is the answer. See that? Well, actually, this cube pattern, it is one of the favorite for the NTA exam for the last couple of times. I have seen that. They are pretty much interested in this pattern. That means especially the cube pattern. So we'll take a look at that, what exactly they have asked, what type of questions they have asked earlier from cubes. So, well, the last time, I think in 2020 itself, I see a question, something like it's 30, 68, and before that, they have given 2 and 10 as well. So 2, 10, 30, and 68. I'll just write it over here. 2, 10, 30, and 68. So that's easy for you to see this. So what is the pattern here? So this is original NTA question, NTA net question. Check it out. What is the pattern here? So what I see here, 3 square plus 1. 30 is what? 5 square plus 5. If you take the square pattern. And this one, it's 8 square plus 4. And this one is like 1 square plus 1. However, 1 square plus 1, 3 square plus 1, 5 square plus 5, 8 square plus 4. I don't see any pattern here. The other possibility is differences. If you take difference 8, this difference is 20. This difference is 38. Still, 8, 20, and 38. What's the difference? Well, if you need to get an answer from differences, probably you have to take the difference of these differences. That means a bit time consuming. So rather than, let's take the cubes. 3 cube. 3 cube is 27. So 30 means 3 cube plus 3. And how about 10? 10 means 2 cube plus 2. These numbers we don't need. Okay, fine. This one is 1 cube plus 1. Naturally, next one must be 4 cube. 4 cube is 64. 4 cube plus 4. So the answer is what? 5 cube plus 5. 5 cube is 125. So it is 5 cube plus 5 cube plus 5. 5 cube is 125 plus 5. 130 is the answer. So these are the type of questions you may expect. And of course, if they want to make the exam a little more tougher, what they can do, make these numbers a bit more larger. That means they go for the next range of numbers. I'll show that. Let's say we have 68, 130, 222, and 350. What's the next number? So 68, 130. From this pattern, we know that what is 68 and 130. So 68 is 4 cube plus 4. 130 is 5 cube plus 5. Next one, 222, 6 cube plus 6. And 350, 7 cube plus 7. All right, we are getting it, right? So next one must be 8 cube plus 8. So you must have a pretty clear idea about the cubes of numbers. Or you must be really good in mental calculations. If there is no need to by heart these cubes of numbers, it's not really practical. But if you know how to calculate it, that would be easy. So this is 8 cube plus 8. So what is 8 cube? How do you calculate 8 cube? 8 cube is what? 8 square into 8. 8 square is 64. 64 into 8. 64, we can take it as 60 plus 4 into 8. So 60 into 8, 480. 4 plus 8 is 32. So 480 plus 32. 480 plus 20 is 500. So from 32, we have taken 20, balance is 12. So that 12 must be added with the 500. So 512. So 512 is 8 cube. Now, what we need is 8 cube plus 8. So 512 plus 8 is 520. Of course, if they ask you the question, instead of giving the missing number over here, the 520 is given, then if they are asking for what is the next number, so the next number must be 9 cube plus 9. So what is 9 cube? Do this mental calculation. 9 cube is what? 9 square into 9. What's 9 square? 81. So 81 into 9. 80 into 9. 8 into 9 is 72. So 80 into 9, 720. So actually what we need is 81 into 9. So 80 into 9, 720. Balance is 1. 1 into 9 is 9. So 729 is the answer. So 9 cube is 729. So that case, the next number here, it's 729 plus 9, 738. See that? Cubes. How about like 10 cube? That's pretty simple. 10 cube is 1000. 10 cube plus 10, 1010. So if 1010 is given among the numbers in a question, it's pretty easy for you to identify. Well, 1010 means it is 10 cube plus 10. If that's the case, what is 11 cube? Can we do this using the same calculation? What is 11 cube? If you know what is 11 cube, it's perfectly all right. But if you're not sure what is 11 cube, the best way to deal with it is 11 square into 11. 11 square is what? 121. So 11 square into 11. Again, there's no need to write it. This is for just demonstration purpose. So this is multiplication. 11 square. 11 square is 121 into 11. So 121 into 11, usually what I do, 121 into 11 means 121 is multiplied by 11 means 121 is added 11 times. If you have any kind of difficulty in understanding that idea, so I'll show that something here. So 2 into 5, everybody knows what the answer is 10. But my question is, what is 2 into 5? 2 into 5 is pretty much simple. 2 is added 5 times. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So 2 is added 5 times. That is what 2 into 5. And if 2 is added 5 times, the answer is 10. Same way, 121 into 11 means 121 is added 11 times. So the best way to deal with this, we assume that 121 is added 10 times first. The reason for that, the multiplication with the 10 is really easy. So 121 is added 10 times, so we have the answer 1210, right? Then we need 121 must be added one more time. So 1210 plus 121. So the answer is going to be 1331. So well, 121 must be here. So when you add it, what you get is 1331. So that is what 11 cube is. 11 cube is 1331. So now what I want you to do, just pause this video. Well, if you watch the recording, you can just pause it. Or if you just watch the streaming, then you can do this after the streaming. So I want you to work on the numbers like 12 cube, 13 cube, 14 cube, etc. Then you will get a clear idea how to deal with this cubes of numbers and how to deal the mental calculation as well. So now we'll take another example here. So let's say another Nta question. This is what it is. 0, 6, 24, 60, 120. What's the next number in the series? Look at it. So what is the pattern? 0, 6, 24, 60, and 120. If you have any kind of confusion about the first number, 0, so ignore that number for the time being. Of course, we'll come to that later. So think about like 6, 24, 60, and 120. What's the pattern here? 6 and 24, 60, and 120. Well, 24 at a glance, what I see, it's 5 square minus 1. And well, 6 is nearest square is what? 2 square. 2 square plus 2. And 60 means it's 8 square minus 4. 120 is 11 square minus 1. However, do we have a pattern here? It's 2 square plus 2, 5 square plus 1, 8 square minus 4, 11 square minus 1. You don't see the pattern. That's not a pattern at all. So anything else? And of course, we were dealing with the cubes of numbers, right? Probably an idea of cubes or a pattern of cubes, if you have that in your mind, try to apply it right here. So how do you apply it here? 24, what's the connection? 24 is not a perfect cube. If it is 27, we can say that it's a perfect cube, but this is not. So 24 is 3 cube minus 3. See that? 27 minus 3. And 60 is what? 4 cube. 4 cube is 64. So this is 4 cube minus 4. And this one is 5 cube minus 5. How about this one? 6. 6 cube is what? 6 is what? 2 cube minus 2. And naturally, this one must be 1 cube minus 1. 1 cube is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Perfectly all right. So we have 0, 6, 24, 60, and 120. So next one must be 6 cube minus 6. Well, 6 cube, do you remember 6 cube from what we have discussed earlier? If you don't remember, think about what is 6 square into 6. 6 square is what? 36. 36 into 6. 30 into 6, 180. 6 into 6, 36. 180 plus 36, 216. So this is 216 minus 6. The answer is what? 210. So these are the patterns. What we see on this screen is pretty much it's a cubes pattern. The previous screen we have seen like squares patterns, like the summation, the difference pattern, all those kind of things. Okay, so let's take one by one. So naturally, you may have a question in your mind. So if I see a number series, how do I identify the pattern? What's the best way to identify the pattern? If you have that question in your mind, of course, we'll come to that. So the first time when we see a question, we have no idea what kind of a series it is. We don't get any idea. So something like, if you get a number like 210, So the next number is 336. And the next number is 504. And well, next one 720. So if we have a number series like this, so as I said earlier, this question is set by the NTA. We cannot have any idea what exactly the pattern, but one thing what we can do, look at the possible patterns and try to figure out what exactly this 210. What we know is 210, either it would be connected with the squares or it is cubes, or the differences may be a pattern. All those kind of things come to our mind. So let's try this. This is the first thing what I have in mind. Nearest square. Nearest square, what I have is 15 square, 225. 15 square minus 15, that is 210. At the same time, what I know is 14 square. 14 square is 196. 14 square plus 14 is 210. Right? How about like 210? There is another way. What is it? 6 cube. 6 cube minus 6. That is 210. At the same time, we know that 70 into 3 is 210. Or 7 into 30 is 210. Or 3 into, different ways of expressing it. So multiplications like 35 into 6. Different possibilities. Okay. Anyhow, ultimately, look at the other number as well. 336. 336, the nearest square is 18 square. 18 square plus 12. 18 square is 324. 324 plus 12 is 336. This is 15 square minus 15. This is 18 square plus 12. Next one, 504. Nearest square is what? 523. 529. So that's 23 square. 23 square. And this one, 504. So 529 minus 504. The difference is what? 25. See that? So if you take the square pattern, 15 square minus 15, 18 square plus 12, 23 square minus 25. I don't see a pattern so far. Now, how about this? Cube. 6 cube minus 6. This one must be 7 cube minus 7. 7 cube is 343. 343 minus 7 is 336. Next one, 8 cube is 512. So 8 cube minus 8. So that is 504. Of course, that gives us clear pattern for us. 6 cube minus 6, 7 cube minus 7, 8 cube minus 8. Next one, this must be 9 cube minus 9, and our answer is 10 cube minus 10. In order to get 10 cube minus 10, we don't need any kind of like confusing calculation. While 10 cube, everybody knows that it is 1000. So 1000 minus 10, the answer is 990. So always remember one thing. When you look at the number series patterns and letter series patterns from the NTA exam, if you feel like it is difficult, actually it is not really difficult. This is one of the easiest patterns available in the competitive exam. If you look at the bank exam or civil service exam or SSC exam or any of those exams, the number series questions and the questions which comes for those kind of aptitude tests are much more difficult than this exam. I'm talking about this number series and letter series type of questions. But for NTA, one of the areas which is really challenging and important, that is syllogism, especially in logical reasoning. We'll have the area called syllogism, and well, Indian logic, square of oppositions, all those kind of things. That would be a bit challenging when you consider, when you compare that with the other exams. This is one of the challenging area for the NET exam. Not this number series and letter series, those kind of things. These are pretty simple. Only thing you need a little bit of preparation. Well, without preparation, it's not really possible to ace any exam. So if you need to get through it, you need to have a minimum preparation, and that you decide. How do I make this preparation? Do I do it myself? Or should I join some kind of like coaching programs? Or like, do I have any kind of other resources available? Do I have my friends who can teach me? So all this, it's up to you, but that you have to take a decision and you have to do the preparation, either self-preparation or you use some kind of like, external sources to do it. All right, so this is pretty much about the number series. Of course, these patterns are not really completed. We'll take one more example. So let's say the numbers like 2, 6, 24, 120. What's the next number in the series? Oh, I'll make it a little more easy for you. 1, 2, 6, 24, and 720. Since you have this 1 here, that's pretty easy for you to get the pattern. That is really helpful. So look at it. At a glance, you see that 1 into 2 is 2, 2 into 3 is 6, 6 into 4 is 24. Yes, we got it. So into 2, into 3, into 4, next one must be into 5. So this is 120, it is not 720, it's 120. So 24 into 5, it's 120, and 120 into 6. So 12 into 6, 72. So the pattern is what? I mean, the answer is what? 720. That's a similar pattern here. The number 1 is missing here, but it's starting from what? 2. Started from 2. 2 into 3, 6, 6 into 4, 24, 24 into 5, 120, 120 into 6, 720. Well, pretty much these two number series are same. Only thing, this one started from 2, this one started from what? 1. That's it. That's the only difference. Well, this multiplication pattern, it may not be always as easy as you think. Some of them would be a little more confusing as well. So for example, like 2, 6, 21, 88. What's the next number? Yeah, we can have one more number before that, 1. So it started from 1, then 2, 6, 21, and 88. So what kind of pattern we have here? Previous case, we had 1, 2, 6, and this one was 24, and this one was 120. So the pattern was into 1, into 2, into 3, into 4, into 5, and this one is multiplied by 6. This case, if you look at this one, it is 1 into 2 is 2, 2 into 3 is 6. Next one, the previous case was 6 into 4, 24, but this case it is 6 into 4, it's not 21. See that? Or if you think about 2 and 3 are prime numbers, then this one, it must be 6 into 5. So 2, 3, next prime number is 5. But 6 into 5 is 30. But what we have given is 21. So what is a pattern here? That is something you have to really think about it. At the same time, I'm pretty sure some of you might have got it by this time. So this case, when I look at it, 6 and 21. 6 into 3, what I know is 18, this is 21. Then 21 into 4, that's 84. This is 88. So into 4 plus 4. This one, 6 into 3 is 18 plus 3. So 18 plus 3 is 21. 6 into 3 plus 3. So if you apply the same pattern, into 4 plus 4, into 3 plus 3, into 2 plus 2. So 2 into 2, 4 plus 2, 6. Perfectly all right. Though this one must be into 1 plus 1. 1 into 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 into 2, 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 into 3, 18 plus 3 is 21. 21 into 4, 84 plus 4 is 88. Yes. So next one, 88 into 5 plus 5. Again, when you see the number 88, we need to multiply with 8. Don't be confused with it. Just mental calculation. So what we do is 88, take it as 80 plus 8. I'm pretty sure some of you have numerophobia, all right? Numerophobia is a phobia towards numbers. It is not a fear, it is an irrational fear. You have no idea why you are fearful about these numbers. That's a condition of some of you. Not everybody. That's pretty much happened when you were at the school, right? Anyhow, it's a time to get rid of this numerophobia. There's no need to fearful about numbers. Okay, so this case, 80 plus 8, that is 88 into 5. So 80 into 5, 8 into 5 is 40. So 80 into 5, 400. Plus we have an 8. 8 into 5, that is 40. So 400 plus 40, 440. Then we have this 5 as well. So the answer is 445. So this is pretty much, you know what, the number series type of questions and different varieties of patterns in number series. Of course, we'll have more of these patterns that we'll discuss when we'll get a chance to meet next time. So it's a pleasure be with you guys, and do your best, and we wish you the best for your upcoming NET exam. Thank you.